What up, Ringside Nation? The Ring Boys are back. Happy New Year 2024. And a little surprise episode for you folks to kick off the new year. I'm excited. We got my beautiful co-hosts, as I always love to call them, Doc and Artie. How's you guys' New Year? How we feeling, boys?
New Year's fabulous. Made a bunch of people try traditional Russian food. If you know what shruba, like fur coat, is, and olivier. If you know what those are, there was a lot of people eating basically like mayo and vegetables. So just
No caviar.
No caviar.
I hope no holodets, which is
No.
the most disgusting thing to ever explain to people.
couldn't force me.
Doc, you got some rest time. You got to just chill out, go back to the Shy.
Yeah, I got to go back to Chicago. Unfortunately, I had to miss that last episode we had. But yeah, I got a lot of rest in. I'm rejuvenated. Back in Virginia now, though, so ready to get this year started. I'm excied.
And I'm proud to announce that we're looking not to miss any fight nights or pay-per-views this year. So we'll have a weird attendance here and there, but for pay-per-views, I'm pretty sure we'll all be here, or at least we'll all try to be. But yeah, a lot happened in the UFC realm and even the boxing realm, which we can get into already. I know we had a couple of fights announced. Obviously, the biggest one being Conor McGregor coming back and returning to fight Michael Chandler at 185 at middleweight. And Artie has a ton of feelings about this one, so I'll let him start.
I don't about a ton of feelings. On the Forever Gone episode, I called out and I said that this was the fight that we all wanted to see. Then we switched our picks a little bit when we re-recorded, but this is exciting. This is probably as big as it's going to get for the UFC. I feel like for the whole year. Obviously, we have UFC 300 that will have quite a few big fights on there. So I'm just going to be interested to see what they do with the rest of the card, because if 300 is as loaded as it is, what are they going to do for this card? They have to complement McGregor versus Chandler, because then can't just have people tuning in for one fight. But I don't think... I feel like this won't be too close, especially at 185. Chandler is a big dude. I think a lot of people forget that he cuts a lot of weight to be at 155, so it'll be interesting to see, but it'll be a big pay-per-view for the UFC.
Doc?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this. I hope it happens. You know, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm still worried that someone's going to pull out. We've had a ton of ruined fights in the UFC lately, either injuries or getting busted for drugs. You know, we'll see what happens, but I'm excited. I want to see if McGregor's actually been working on his fighting, and you know, especially with all the buildup in the Ultimate Fighter. With McGregor just not being the coach that he thinks he is, and a lot of animosity between the two. I hope that it's going to be a stand-up fight, even though I think Chandler does have some good wrestling. It'll be good to watch, and I think that, again, with McGregor being in a fight, there's going to be a lot of exposure to it. There's going to be a great press conference beforehand. And hopefully get a bit more people interested in the UFC again, even though I think that the UFC is in the best place that it's been since the company has started. Lots of tremendous talent. But it's always nice to get a little Irish accent on the podium.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys fully. To quote the great, Stephen A. Smith, stay off the weed. Just, keep it casual. We got 6 months, so hopefully this fight does happen. Too early to make predictions. Obviously, fight odds opened up as McGregor minus 120 favorite. They were a pick 'em when the fight was announced. Now Michael Chandler's a sneaky plus 100. My money's waving to go that way, boys. I know Chandler fought Poirier, lost via sub, and McGregor. We know how that ended. I'm really excited for this one. I'm really excited for that card. That's a fun way to start off the summer, and good to see Conor back. But man, they got to make sure he keeps his act together in order to keep this fight.
Just thinking about it being at 185, I can't believe pictures of McGregor at featherweight are disgusting.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he doesn't have to put his body through that ever again.
Yeah, and to that point too, we're in a new era of the UFC, right? We're completely done with USADA, I believe, right, as of this year. So we'll see. Maybe that 185 fight, maybe there's a little juice going on. Maybe they get the blood pumping a little bit, but that should be just exciting in general for the UFC as well, just because a lot of the fighters did say there are certain things that would be considered performance enhancing that would just help them recover quicker. So maybe this will be the year where we see some people fight, that we don't usually expect 3 to 4 times a year. So,
Or maybe we'll see them finally be able to use peptides like they should. Yeah, and they're no longer with USADA. I think they're with Drug Free Sport International. And with a name like Drug Free Sport International, you think there are going to be a couple of misslipped tests. Hopefully no more 6 a.m. Sean O'Malley drug tests.
Still got to be worried about the picograms,
Yeah. There's a lot to that universe that we aren't educated about, Doc. Hopefully you can give us some insight as we go throughout the year. But yeah, big fight. Good to see McGregor back. Not back yet, but we got 6 months to see. But there are a ton of other fights to announce. Artie, what else you got on the list for us today?
Next one up, I've got Whitaker and Costa. This one's, I think, a pretty big deal within the middleweight division. Obviously, in my opinion, that this is pretty exciting. As exciting as it gets for that division. But the problem is we all know the fight isn't happening until Costa shows up on that Saturday morning and he's there ready to fight.
Yep.
So I'm excited, but how excited can you really be until it's actually happening? Contender eliminator fight, I think, to Robert Whitaker, last loss to Dricus du Plessis, and then Costa long layoff because of after fighting.
Not wanting to fight.
Yeah,
that's why he has a long layoff. Let's be clear here.
Yeah. So Doc, give your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you think this is a big deal with all your thoughts on making sure that fighters are active and whatever. Costa is a big talker, but he doesn't fight. And he also hasn't beaten anyone significant. He came in, he was undefeated for a while, and then Adesanya rode him like a horse. And then after that, his feelings got hurt a little bit, and now he doesn't fight. Whitaker will tear through him if Costa shows up.
Not to mention the hype behind this, but this was scheduled for 284 last year, I think in February. And now that they finally scheduled it, I mean, Costa, the next fight I wanted him to see was him against Khamzat. But, with Khamzat being in the hospital dealing with, an allergic reaction, hopefully my boy gets back and gets healthy soon. Whatever happens in this fight, I'm still waiting to see those two go at it after the Twitter, the Twitter thumbs that they went at each other on. But yeah, no, this is a huge fight. I'm counting the days for this one. It's going to be fun. And I'm glad Robert Whitaker was the one to call him out and Costa accepted while he was waiting. So
yeah, I feel like there might have been a little bit of
hyped.
You either accept this or we might be parting ways sooner than later, because you can't keep putting a guy that everybody wants to see on the card and then him not showing up. So I'm hoping there was a little bit of motivation from Dana. Ready to get into the next one?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this one is in the welterweight division. This will be Jack Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Burns. Pretty big in my opinion, because this is JDM at 11 fighting Gilbert Burns at 4. Obviously, if JDM wins, this would be a huge jump for him within the division. We've seen that he is pretty talented, but this will be, I think, his first fight where we really will need to see what he is made of, because Gilbert Burns is the type of person that he will take him through the ringer for all 3 rounds. So looking forward to that one. Gilbert Burns, also one of my favorite fighters, just a guy that's always shows up. He's always with in the ring or ringside watching the fights. He's big part of the UFC. So looking forward to that one. Doc?
Yeah, I think this is a really important fight for JDM. I think he lost the fight 2 fights ago, and he got awarded a split decision against a no-name guy that came in on short notice. Hafez, I think, was his last name. And it looked to me like he lost that fight, gets a split decision win, fights Holland, looked much better in that fight, also split decision win. Jack is a very talented fighter, and it is impressive that he beat Holland. I do think he beat Holland. But this will be the biggest test that he has, and I really hope he's been working hard, but because Burns is going to be tough to beat, and I don't think he can do it. But we'll see. He must be motivated after these like 2 iffy performances that he has. But no, he's a phenomenal striker. So hopefully we get to see that.
I think this has potential to match the energy of when Gilbert fought Khamzat. That's a bold claim for me, but if this does go the distance, I think it's just going to be 3 rounds of action. I think Gilbert Burns will and should edge it out. But I think Jack might surprise, and raise an eyebrow or two, like, oh my God, he's putting the league on notice. I love Gilbert Burns.
Are they by chance doing it in Australia? I feel like this would be a great fight to be internationally.
Hold on 1 second, I can tell you. And just while I'm looking this up to confirm, it was Basil Hafez that JDM fought last, split decision. I think if anybody, I know I watched that fight, but if you guys watched that one too, it was like way closer than.
I think he lost.
The dude came off the couch from like who knows what league, came into the UFC and put up an incredible fight. So just looking this up. UFC, it's set for UFC 299 in Miami.
Yep.
Okay, in Miami. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, what else we got on the fight list?
All right. Next we've got Brandon Allen versus Marvin Vettori. Also another one of these fights where like sort of similar to like Whitaker Costa, both are very not in the same way similar, but both of these guys are actually pretty active and then within their division. Obviously in the middleweight division. So this will be good to see because we need Marvin Vettori kind of back in the ring, but we also will be seeing Brendan Allen, who's been calling out all these big names, actually get the shot at top 5. Brendan Allen's pretty skilled. Marvin Vettori is a guy whose chin is like made out of granite, so I feel like this fight could go the distance. But I feel like Brendan Allen could win, and it'll be good to see some new blood within the top 5 there. So Doc, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. This on paper to me seems like a fight of the year type contender. It's not going to be fight of the year because there's going to be tons of great fights this year, but like definitely one that needs to be looked forward to. I think that they're evenly matched. I think both are well-rounded on the ground, stand up, wrestling, all of that. I'm really excited to see what happens. I hope Allen's hype train continues on. He's really good. Marvin Vettori is able to throw a little bit of trash talk into the mix too, and I'm sure that both guys will engage in that. It should be good little in-ring talk as well. I'm excited to see this. Both super talented, both still up and coming, and like you said, nice to see some new blood in the top 5.
And to add and build to that, I mean, Marvin coming off a loss and Brendan coming off a huge win over my boy Bearju. It's really just Brendan Allen trying to get into the mix for a title shot and Marvin to maintain his spot and get back to that title shot spot. So, I mean, we'll see. I love Brendan Allen so much. Marvin, after he lost to Jared, it was a little shaky, but I think an early prediction for me, I think Brendan Allen beats him, and then Marvin is going to be crying in an Olive Garden somewhere in Miami that's open 24 hours. I think at the end of the day, that's what should happen. That's what will happen. Anyway,
I think it would be an interesting one. This definitely, like you said, it could go in the way of they're just slugging it out and we kind of go to a decision, or either one of these guys could end a fight pretty quickly. So it'll be good to see. Looking forward to it. It's UFC Fight Night 280 or 89, I believe. Is it this one?
299.
No, just UFC Vegas 89, April 6th.
Oh, right.
You're the main event.
The schedule is just getting so many fights, and that's the start of the year that like you hear a fight and then you don't know what card it's on until the card actually shows up, and you're like, oh my god, I forgot about this one. So
exactly,
it's the best time of the year for us.
Yeah, part of why we're doing this episode as well. Just
exactly.
A lot of stuff happened within the last 2-3 weeks. So
this is the New Year's surprise edition, baby. We got to make up for the Lost Files episode we messed up on. What else?
Next one. We got Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland. We did talk a little bit about this one because when MVP got signed, this was the fight that got announced with his signing. I don't know. From the highlights that I've seen of Michael Venom Page, he seems incredibly exciting. This will be good for the UFC. Kevin Holland, as we all know, also the type of fighter, like if he's on a card, you want to see that fight because there's going to be something that happens that's just either funny, like wild that you haven't seen before, or he's just going to be talking to his opponent the whole time. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one. Should be pretty good. It'll be a good welcome for MVP because Kevin Holland is obviously, as he kind of jokes around, but he's really no joke. And what I think he fights at welterweight mostly, so ranked number 12. So this will slingshot MVP into the top 15 contention if he does win. But it'll be interesting. Hopefully, some kind of shakeup. I don't want it to be we get another new exciting fighter and he's always outside the top 15, just kind of filling in the cards. So, Doc?
Yeah, so I'm excited for this. This is yet another guy trying to transition from Bellator into the UFC. Michael Chandler kind of successfully did it. Not many others have, though. But Michael Venom Page, this is going to be a tough test for him. This is going to be harder than I think he lost to one of the Lima brothers, like Douglas Lima was the guy that knocked him out in Bellator. But other than that, he had a pretty smooth run in Bellator, and great striker, super lengthy. He has a professional boxing record as well. So he's going to need to watch out for Kevin Holland taking him down, though. But yeah, we can definitely expect both guys are big talkers. I think that this level and step up in competition is going to be too much for MVP. But he's a good guy to have in the UFC, and I think that he should have been here a while ago. It was just tough to bring him over, tough to convince him. Hopefully there's a knockout here, and I think that it can happen. Knockout or submission. I don't expect this to go to the judges. Yeah, super lengthy guy. We'll see. He definitely has the reach advantage over almost anybody in that division, so we'll see if that helps him out.
MVP 21-2, first UFC fight. Hopefully it goes well for him, but I love Kevin Holland, 25-10. You're right on Douglas Lima. He knocked out Michael Venom Page. I think it was like 5 years ago, but MVP came back, beat Lima via decision, and I think Holland's going to beat him. He's going to get cut, and they're going to throw him back in Bellator and make the trilogy for that one. Nah, I'm just kidding.
He's going to stay in the UFC for a while. Yeah.
I'm just messing around. Yeah, I think MVP is a hardcore talent. I had a troll for a second. He has like almost an 80-inch reach, which is like at his height. They're both really tall dudes. So I'm right there with you. There's no shot this goes the distance. It's going to be entertaining. I'm already making my popcorn for it right now.
Okay. Before we go to the next one, I'm kind of throwing a little wrench into the script that we had here. I don't know if you guys followed along with this at all, but there was some rumor of Israel Adesanya possibly coming back this year and fighting. Any thoughts? Who could it be? Like, what are you guys expecting? What's going to happen? Because the rumored fight was that he was going to be with Khamzat Chimaev. I do think for the UFC that might be kind of hard to put together. But any thoughts before we go to the next one, Doc?
So what I saw is that he looks big, like he's put on a bit of weight. And there was rumors that he was going to try to go up in weight and maybe even fight Pereira at a higher weight class. I think that would be a incorrect move. I also think fighting Khamzat would be an incorrect move. I want to see him run it back against Strickland. Regardless of if Strickland is the champ, I think I think that loss hurt a lot for Adesanya. It might have hurt more than getting knocked out by Pereira in the UFC. Like
Hurt my
he needs to avenge that.
hurt my bank account too. Wasn't a great one. No, and this is the beautiful way of throwing a wrench in the script. All three of us bring something new to the table. You mentioned Pereira, but I think Israel needs to heal his body for a bit. I think soon for him is some point within the year. I don't think it'll be the first half of the year, but I think he'll definitely fight in 2024. I'm not buying that he's taken till, next year.
Yeah.
Who the next fight it may be, Pereira, Strickland, no name. I'm ready for it, and I just want him to fight at least in 2024. That's my only ask. That's it. I'm not asking for much.
All right. And then next one, I did put this. I wanted Francis Ngannou to fight Wilder in 2024 as my wish fight of the year. But we actually got something else announced, and that was Francis versus Joshua. And this will be a boxing bout rather than MMA, like I was wanting, but still pretty exciting. And it probably is getting to the point where I'm assuming some eyebrows are getting raised in the UFC, because there was quite a bit of hate coming from Dana towards Francis and what he was doing. And now he went from taking Fury to decision, which he should have won, and then now going to fight another boxer at heavyweight that's a big contender. Like, these aren't just no-name guys that anybody could have called out and fought. These people are fighting for belts. Like, this is the real deal. So this is exciting. I kind of hope and wish that we continue to see some sort of mix and match between the two worlds of boxing and MMA. But this is another good step, and I do still hope we get the Wilder Francis fight, even though Wilder did look like a joke in his last fight.
I was just about to mention, I speculate that they had a contract for both guys waiting to see, because they fought on the same card on the Day of Reckoning. And then when Wilder lost, they were like, throw that contract out, get it to Joshua, let's get it going. Because after coming off a loss like that, no one wants to see you go against Ngannou. They're like, that's not going to sell well. Everyone's going to be like, who's this guy? They're going to be going and they're going to look, and it's going to be a loss, and that's that. But after he dropped Fury, he put the world on notice. He got the bag. Now I think he's going to try to be a legit boxer. And Dana's, crawling into his bed at night and thinking, man, if we just paid the guy, we could add a superstar on our roster in the heavyweight division. But hey, we're not on the UFC. We're just fans, and we speculate. And Doc, I want to hear your feelings on that fight as well.
Yeah. So I think, Wilder, terrible performance, weird post-fight interview. Joshua has looked really good his last two fights. And I think that the Tyson Fury that we saw against Ngannou the first time isn't the real champion Tyson Fury. I think it would mean a lot more if Ngannou shows that he's good against Anthony Joshua right now. To kind of like double down that he is the real deal in boxing, because none of us expected like Ngannou to last like probably even multiple rounds against Tyson Fury. I thought that he was going to get knocked out, and I think it's a better fight to make. I will say though, Deontay Wilder is a stronger puncher than Anthony Joshua, and I think that the appeal there originally, if Wilder didn't have a terrible performance, is having two of the strongest punchers in the world go against each other in boxing. We got to see where Wilder goes from here. He is a one punch knockout artist, and that's what got him his ridiculous knockout streak. But he looked terrible. He looked uninterested in his last fight. I would be shocked if Ngannou won against Joshua, but if he does, he might be one of he is the scariest man in fighting in the world, but that would just be another step. And in terms of Dana not paying him, that's going to be a tough pill for him to swallow, but he couldn't afford the amount of money that Ngannou wanted and willed into existence. And props to Ngannou for going out and getting this. The only issue is that since he went out for the money, we won't get the John Jones Ngannou fight, so we won't really see who the most dominant MMA heavyweight is right now. And I don't know about you guys, but I would be pretty confident that John Jones would show him that there's levels to this game in MMA.
Agreed. And I think in 5 years we may see it as a boxing match when they both retire.
So that's set for March 9th in Saudi Arabia. Definitely will be one that I try to catch. Obviously, it will be pretty exciting for us to see. It's kind of funny to see the headline that it says Francis Ngannou 0-1 fighting Anthony Joshua.
For like a $20 million fight.
0 against heavyweight champion last time.
Yep.
From Cameroon to Saudi Arabia, we all wish you luck.
I will say, interesting. Sorry, one last thing. There aren't really any UFC events in Saudi, from my understanding. So maybe it's like UFC is cornering the UAE market, and then boxing is cornering the Saudi market. Because Day of Reckoning was also in Saudi Arabia, so we had to watch it over here at like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing. I wonder if Dana's like interested in trying to get more of that Saudi money into the business.
And it's not just the Saudi market. You hit the nail right on the head. 3 p.m. fight time. No one wants to wait till 1 a.m. to see the main event. People want to go out to the bars. They want to, chill on their Saturday nights, whatever, and see the main event as they're, pre-gaming and heading out, or having a relaxing night and going to bed. As we're all getting older, it's not easy to stay up as much. Okay. God. All right. I think that was the last fight on the fight script.
It was, yep.
And a little late Christmas present from the Ring Boys to Ringside Nation, which we're calling our fans now. Shout out Artie for finding that name. And we have a special announcement here live on the pod. So I'm gonna just get a little prep work here and announce that we are gonna do a fantasy draft live here for you guys on this episode. Now, you may be thinking fantasy draft football's over. No. We're a fight podcast. We're doing a UFC draft. So how this is going to work is we're going to go division by division. We already have the draft order set. We did it before this episode. We have the points lined up, which I will share on this sheet right now. If you're watching from home, that should be on your screen for you with the rules. And if you're just listening, you'll hear the picks, and we'll be giving updates on how this goes throughout the year. This will go great. This will go terrible. We don't know. But we're going to do this because it's going to be fun. All right. So the rules are, Artie has the first pick. I have second. Doc has third and fourth. And we're going to snake draft and go through it. We're going to start flyweight division and work our way down into the women's bantamweight division. The points are as follow. If the fighter wins via submission, KO, or TKO, they get 5 points. If they win by decision, they get 3. If they draw, or if they just even have a fight and they get to the fight and they actually fight and not, cancel or whatever, they get a point. You cannot pick an unranked fighter, a champ, or Colby Covington. I don't need to explain the Colby Covington. So we're going to do this live and direct for you guys, a little late Christmas present. Yeah, we'll get started here. Artie, you have the first pick. Anything you boys want to bring to the table? Any other rules I missed? I think we're good. If your fighter gets hurt, you can't pick up another fighter. We were going to do trades, but everyone called me crazy for that one. So we'll keep that one in the vault. Maybe we will make trades throughout the year, but we're just going to get it underway. Yeah, in the flyweight division, and with the first selection of the 2024 Ring Boys draft, already take
Muhammad Mokaev.
Oh, wow. Oh, boo.
Easy pick.
Great pick.
He is definitely in the line of he's going to get somebody in the top 5 next, and then a title fight. So.
Well, he's fighting Alex Perez, who's at 7 next. So you already got a fight booked there. Started off with a loss there. Might not look like the best first pick of the draft. I'm gonna
ACL is okay after that knee bar that was locked in for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I wanted to take Muhammad Mokaev so bad, so that's why I just screamed, and sorry if I blew anyone's eardrum out. But I'm gonna take a newly ranked fighter and take Tatsuro Taira.
Dang it.
The guy just became ranked. He's going to fight and chip away. The kid's 23. He's young. He's ready to go. I saw him fight recently. He won me money. Why wouldn't this be my first pick of the flyweight division? My only concern for him is if they like bite off more than he can chew and put him against like a Steve Urzeg and put that in Australia, then I'm going to look like an idiot. But hopefully that's not the case, Dana. All right. Doc, your first pick in the flyweight division.
Yeah. So two people that I wanted to take, taken right in front of me, snapped up. I'm going to go with Kai Kara France. And this pick is because I expect him to fight 3 or 4 times. That's my anticipation. So we'll see.
Okay,
that's decent. That's decent logic. We're not going to roast you for it. It wasn't Colby Covington, so you're within the rules.
Marty had a pretty big reaction to that. What's going on?
He's in the same line of like Costa. He hasn't beat anybody in the top 5 that's been ranked or that's still in the UFC. So,
hey,
but he fights.
We'll see.
He gives us a good old college try.
New year, new friends. All right, moving along to the bantamweight division. Doc, your first selection.
You know, we didn't put in anything for eventually becoming champion, but I hope that Merab Dvalishvili will be fighting early and often, and I expect him to be the champ.
Solid pick.
But we'll see. He hasn't fought in a while, and Dana doesn't like him, so we'll see.
I'm just going to move right along here and select Song Yadong. And another guy who could potentially get in the mix, fighting Peter Yan coming up soon. So if he can get that in, then I think this is a really pretty good and safe selection. Moving over back to Artie for his bantamweight selection for the 2024 The Ring Boys copyrighted fantasy draft.
Okay, so could be a good pick to go with Corey Sandhagen, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going with Umar Nurmagomedov. I think easy enough. I'm hoping he should be on the next UAE card. And then from there, maybe we'll see some movement. So that's why I'm going with that pick.
Need some help typing out the Nurmagomedov?
No.
Are there not enough characters there? Oh, there we go.
No,
also, interesting one. David Figueiredo's on here now too, so that could have been an interesting pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was thinking between Sandhagen and I was struggling because I was pulling up another tab on the side to look for my next pick. I think Sandhagen has a good prop bet. He's like plus 1,000 to end the year as champ. I think that's a sneaky selection for all you betting fans. But he has to go through so many people. He has to go through Merab and potentially Sean O'Malley. I don't know. It's a lot to bite for the task at hand. So, but yeah, so far decent selections all around. Moving on to the featherweight division. Artie, your selection.
I'm going to take exactly what Doc said. I'm taking Ilia Topuria. I think he is the next champ. I love Alexander Volkanovski, the aura, like absolutely everything, but after that vicious knockout, I don't know if he's the same fighter. So
I love Josh Emmett. I call it Josh Emmett. Hi, Bug. But I got to take Max Holloway. I just love the guy too much.
His next fight might not even be at 145.
That's fine.
You get one take back. Right,
what do you mean?
Alex.
He's first. He's first on the rankings.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll let it slide.
I'm just thinking smart here. It was either you're next, Doc. I'm not going to say. If you don't take my guy here, then I'll switch it out just for.
Yeah. So as much as I would love to get Giga on this list, so I get the Georgian special, I will be taking Movsar Evloev, who is also a sneaky pick here, I think. Very talented, young guy. Probably not going to be champ, but he should be able to fight a lot because he wins and doesn't take damage.
All right, I kind of want to take mine back now. Are
You
we
get one
allowing it?
take back.
All right,
You
all right.
get one take back
I'm
because
gonna take Arnold Allen. Has a scheduled fight already. I love Max Holloway. My tie to Max Holloway is the same way you're tied to Tony Ferguson. I just want that to be.
But one of them wins.
I'm gonna pick him whether he's gonna win or lose, regardless. But yeah, decent, good pick, Doc. Moving along here to the lightweight division.
This is tough. But I will go back to my strategy of guys that fight often and have a chance at winning. So I'm going to be going with Jalen Turner for my lightweight pick. Not Benoit Saint Denis like you're going to pick. I get it.
Thanks for just announcing my pick for me. That's the guy.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Benoit Saint Denis, just pummeling Matt Steamroller Frivola, putting the league on notice. He's gonna fight in France this year. He's gonna be a superstar one day. And I see Artie's typing on the side here, so put some pressure on you to make your lightweight pick here.
You know what? I wish we could make like some sort of exception, but I'm gonna go with Rafael Fiziev. I think
my man.
I think
is he healthy?
Barring he comes back from injury soon, could be a pretty big year for him.
Yep.
Is he healthy?
Well, no. USADA gone. Maybe they give some juice. No, I'm good. I'm good. I think between lightweight and welterweight, these two divisions, you're like, I guess somebody out of the top 5 would be a decent pick just because they'll be actually fighting. But yeah.
Arman Sarukian's still on the board if you want to go take.
He's not going to fight enough.
No, I know. I was trying to mess with him.
No, I'm not doing that.
He just loves welterweight.
I'm gonna take Sean Brady. I think this is Sean Brady's year.
Okay.
I know who Alex is gonna take here. But I'll let you
announce it. No, you announce it. You announce it.
Shavkat Rakhmonov being taken by Alex. This is an easy pick for him. We get it.
I don't care if he doesn't fight a lot. He's going to be champ one day. I have to take him. I don't care for winning this fantasy draft. I want to have the star-studded lineup.
Yeah. No, you have potential champs in your list. That's true. But we don't reward champions.
We'll see. Maybe we make an additional rule to let me back in the mix if I'm losing.
Right. So here I'm between two people here. But again, my strategy this year's draft is to go for active fighters. So we're going to go with Kevin Holland. But I will say, I want to see what Rinat Fakhretdinov is going to do this year. He had a very iffy performance last time out. But I hope he gets a bit better there. He's rounding out the top 15 at number 15 there. Middleweight. We're gonna add on another Georgian fighter to my list, Roman Dolidze.
You want to know it's my next pick too, Doc? I mean,
Brendan Allen. I don't know.
No, we're taking Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, that is a mistake, and you don't get a take back on this.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care.
You better hope brother fights once this year.
Ever again. Yeah.
I'm taking Brandon Allen. I don't know why. Brandon Allen is somebody who's. I'm going with your strategy, Jock. He's going to fight a lot this year, I have a feeling. Especially if he cracks the top 5 after the Marvin Vettori fight.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick.
I just love Khamzat.
Heavyweight. Light heavyweight. I want to kind of keep my thing going here with Dagestan. Give me Magomed Ankalaev. Some hope.
You want to talk about his next fight? The ties we have to it and how he has to refight Johnny Walker?
Yeah, hopefully they could throw that back onto our parlay and pay us out the actual amount. But yeah.
That would be awesome. It's tough. It's tough for me here. I'm between two guys. It's not Johnny Walker, obviously. But I'm going to take Khalil Roundtree Jr.
Good pick. Good pick.
They can
Doc-
get right out
Doc-
from under me.
I got to make the
Taking
fun
it
picks.
right under
I'm
me.
going to win the fans, win the draft, and win when we do the championship rule that we were talking about behind the scenes. So I don't care if you're going to roast my picks. You took that guy in France. Get out of here. All right, Doc.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay. So I'm going to go sleeper pick. I'm going to go with Ryan Spann. Was
Ryan who?
considering Alonzo Minifield. Ryan Spann.
Spam.
Spann.
2 ends.
And
I was looking up if it had one or two hands.
yeah. Yeah. I am interested though in seeing, as we remember, I did have that Alonzo Minifield pick over Dustin Jacoby, but he did look like he was a bit outmatched. So heavyweight, the big boys. This is tough because they don't fight often. But I'm gonna take Sergey Pavlovich, who's gonna come back and try to fight often and get that title.
Good pick. That was going to be my pick, but I'm going to take Jailton Almeida. That boy can wrestle. That's all I'll say. After that Derek Lewis fight, it was either that or Derek Lewis. I wonder if Artie goes with Derek Lewis here.
No.
Okay.
No Derek Lewis for me. I'm going to go with Alexander Volkov. He called out that he wants to be pretty active this year because I think he said this is the year that he makes his run. If it doesn't work out, then he retires. But hopefully he doesn't lose his first fight that he gets scheduled because then that'll be over pretty quick. Okay. So next, we're going into...
Before we not to cut you off here, but I'm going to let you finish. Doc, if you didn't take Sergey Pavlovich, would you have taken the other Sergey Spivak?
No,
okay.
I think the other Sergey is on the out.
All right.
Unfortunately.
All right. Artie, go ahead.
Take Mackenzie Dern.
Wow.
Wait, is this the right person? Hold on. Wait, no, I do not want to.
It's just
no. I don't want Mackenzie Dern. Take back. I want Lupi Godinez. That was a different Mackenzie than what I was thinking. My fault.
I'm gonna take Mackenzie. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. This is I can either just annoy Artie with this pick, or I could make the smart decision. Doc, I'll let you pick. Do you want me to annoy him, or
I just want you to make a pick.
I'm gonna take Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci.
Okay, that's not annoying. I'm finally glad you're buying into the Shark Gang. We're out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Marina Rodriguez for this one. Getting up there in age, but still looking good.
All right. Solid pick.
Women's flyweight, super exciting division in my opinion. I'm gonna go. This is tough. I'm gonna go with
Casey O'Neill.
I'm gonna go with Aaron Blanchfield. Here.
Solid pick. I'm gonna publicly apologize for our last ringer pick of the year failing because of Casey O'Neill and pick the lady who beat her in Ariane Lipsky. I think that was a powerful performance, and I think she's slated for big things in 2024.
It's me. I'm gonna go with Macy Barber.
On that one, I was expecting Alex to take Fiora.
Yeah,
so I'm a bit surprised. But.
I mean, I'm here for the fans.
Fun fact: Valentina Shevchenko completely left out of our draft, so goes to show where we are at in 2024. For women's bantamweight, I'm going to take
Miesha
Mayra
Tate.
Bueno Silva.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
obvious
God.
pick.
Now that
That's the obvious
USADA is
pick.
gone. Interesting.
It's Mayra Bueno Silva. Yeah, I'm torn here. I'm torn here. I love Norma Dumont. I love her with all my heart. But Irene Aldana, man. Irene Aldana. Gotta be on the roster here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for not picking Norma Dumont, because I will be selecting Norma Dumont with the final pick of the draft.
And that concludes the 2024 The Ring Boys Fantasy Draft. We'll post these picks somewhere on socials. So go ahead and check us out at The Ring Boys Podcast on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, not Facebook. What else are we on? We'll be on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on all. Oh, what's that already? We struggled for a whole weekend and got the podcast on all platforms: Spotify, Google. What am I missing? Apple, YouTube,
Google, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All the things.
The Ring Boys.
What you usually use to listen to your podcast, we're probably on it.
Yeah. So now go ahead, enjoy all the episodes you missed on 2023. We are not going to close out. We are going to go battle against each other. And I am going to introduce a one surprise rule, because all my great ideas come when my back is against the wall. Do we want to do any trades?
No.
Okay. Well, I figured that was going to be the case. Doc, any trades?
Not down right away.
All right.
I mean, I would like Khalil Roundtree, but I'll let you have him.
I was like the only one untouchable apart from Khamzat Chimaev.
It's okay.
Yeah, let's just go up and down real quick, Artie. Talk about one fighter in all divisions that you have that you're excited to look for, and one fighter that you're like, I don't know why I picked him.
I don't have any fighters that I think, why did I pick them? But I think the most exciting this year could be Sean Brady, coming off a pretty big win that was like super dominant. So as long as he stays active, somebody that, obviously could get me some points.
Yeah, fair selection. My pick, I have a few really good ones and I have a few really bad ones. The one that I'm just like, I had to take Khamzat, or he's hospitalized. I hope he's doing well. He may not fight. He may fight. We'll see. Had to take him in the mix there. But BSD and Khalil Roundtree, I think, are going to be people to really take notice. And I think if BSD gets that fight in France, that's gonna sell a lot. That's all I'm saying. Doc?
Yeah. BSD versus me picking Jalen Turner, one pick before him. I should have looked at the list a bit more. That being said, I'm still happy with my Jalen Turner pick. He's looking really good. We'll see. I'm a big fan of Merab Dvalishvili. And I think you missed one of the L's. But he, as long as Dana doesn't blacklist him, I think one fight and then he'll have the championship fight and then he'll win the championship. I'm really excited to see how he does. But we'll see. Sometimes politics get in the way of my beautiful selection.
All right. And that concludes the 2024 Ring Boys UFC fantasy draft. We'll be keeping in touch anytime there is a update for anyone on this list getting a fight, or anyone getting a fight, win, loss, injury, whatever. We'll keep you posted. Hopefully this will be a fun thing for us and not a stressful thing for us.
Now that we're done with this, can I make one quick call out?
Yeah.
We talked about quite a few fights that got announced, some exciting stuff that's coming up within the year. We didn't touch too much on the women's divisions, but there was one thing that was kind of circulating around, some sort of rumors that Zhang Weili did ask Alexa Grasso if they could fight on 300. How cool would that be to see a double champ in the women's divisions again? That would be a lot of fun. But I'm hoping like there's a lot of fighters that are super exciting in the women's divisions. I'm just hoping they keep them active. So, quick call out. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fight. Yeah.
I mean, the card UFC 300 alone has a big name value, so it's going to be hard, satisfying what the fans want. But as far as the women division goes, as many, if we could get all three, divisions on there, that'd be cool. I'd be hyped for that. Obviously, it wouldn't bode well, and you want to have the hype string out over a longer time throughout the course of the year. But the more title fights on that card, the better. That's all I'll say.
Holly Holm co-main event.
Yeah.
As much as they are stacking this UFC 300 again, they have to plan for a bunch of fights just like falling through. Unfortunately, that's just like the state of the UFC that we're in. So it's better to just like plop everyone on there, and as long as like 70% of the fights actually happen, it's going to be a fantastic card. And one thing I'll say is Jim Miller was on UFC 100. Jim Miller was on UFC 200. Jim Miller is fighting, I believe, this week. And I want to see Jim Miller on UFC 300. What a guy. UFC legend, in my opinion. He better be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care how many losses he has. Yeah, that's all. That's how I'll finish.
There were like rumors, and not rumors, it's Twitter. You know how social media is, that he was trying to be on UFC 300. If so, I'm all for it. Make that the second fight after Bo Nickel and Cody Brunage to start off the night, and I'll be happy. And then just make sure Bo Nickel's not using ChatGPT before his fights. That'd be great. All right. Hot start to the year here. We're looking to cover all events this year. Stay consistent. We may not have a full attendance throughout the year, so please be patient with us, Ringside Nation. We do this for you guys. We do this for the sport. We do this for the love of the game and all the warriors that get in the ring. And we will be covering Fight Night with a pre-show and a post-show next weekend. So look for 2 episodes there. This is a great start. Anything else you boys want to say or bring up before we sign off here?
I'll let Doc go first, and I'll throw something in.
Yeah, I'm excited to be a bit more consistent this year. Throw out a few more episodes. Each episode, I anticipate us getting a bit better here. Please let us know, however we can be better on this show. I'm hoping that we figure out a way to kind of do some live commentary while watching, without the video playing. Get some in moment commentary on the fights, which I think would be really interesting. Obviously, we'll still have like the Twitter going, or the X going, and we'll keep you guys in the loop on anything new that we throw out, and should be a lot of episodes this year.
We're still calling it Twitter. Artie?
Yeah, follow us on the socials, and as always, leave us some comments. Throw us something on Twitter. What do you want us to talk about? Is there one fight that you want to happen this year? Let us know what it is. Is there a fight that we called out and we got completely wrong? Let us know. Let us hear it. We're here for all of it. We'll talk about it and we'll look at it. So we really appreciate the love that we got for the first few episodes. It's a big deal to us, and I'm looking forward to 2024. It's already such an exciting year in MMA and combat sports. So hopefully it keeps it rolling, and yeah.
And in the great words of 50 Cent, hopefully with sports betting we get rich or die trying for you guys. I mean, we'll introduce some parlays. We'll have a betting segment, and like Doc mentioned, the live element. Hopefully we'll be able to figure it out for events that, we think should get it. All right, boys. It's been fun. Hot start to the year. Ringside Nation. See you guys in a week. And enjoy the surprise episode in the fantasy draft. And don't make fun of my picks, or I will DM you guys. All right, all. Have a good one. Man, I hope Kamzat fights this year.